and my credentials are I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations and internal security and the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will certainly help you because throughout my session I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases which you will be in a position to identify the factual, analytical and conceptual questions for the preliminary examinations, and by imbibing the keywords and the key phrases which we discussed in the daily news analysis, it will be useful for you in the mains examination, and by imbibing the keywords and the key phrases you can score higher marks in the mains examination. So therefore this session will certainly help you to score higher marks in the mains 2020 and also for the prelims and mains 2021. So do follow my session completely, that is of AKS IAS Academy daily news analysis, for better understanding and having an edge over others. And this session is in regards to the daily news paper analysis of the Hindu, and that is of today's, that is 17th of November 2020. And the quote of the day is don't be busy but be productive. So it is very clear what is important is productive but not trying to be busy or trying to be busy. And before I get into the daily news analysis, I would say a very good morning to all who are in the live and also in the live chat. A warm welcome to everyone, to Gauri Naidu, Harika, D. Suvarna, Malvika Sajivan. All of you, a warm welcome to you all to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And now we'll get into the news, that is where is the judge recuses himself from Jagan case. So we have discussed about the contempt of case against the AP Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy, which is supposed to be taken action against him. And in regards to that, there is another news which talks about Justice UU Lalit of Supreme Court has recused means excuse oneself from a case of potential conflict of interest or wherein there is lack of impartiality. So Justice UU Lalit was supposed to be in the bench and he was supposed to take the case of Jagan Mohan Reddy, but he has recused of himself. Recused means excuse oneself, that he doesn't want to be part of the conflict of interest or lack of impartiality. Why he has recused? Why Justice UU Lalit has recused from the Jagan case? Because he said that he himself has been hearing separate writ petition that sought an action against Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, that is YS Jagan Mohan Reddy. So therefore, as he was hearing various other writ petition which were against the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, that is Jagan Mohan Reddy, so he has recused. Because of that, he has recused that he wouldn't be as a potential to go ahead with taking up, or he has recused from the conflict of interest. And thereby there was various, the cases, contempt of case against YS Jagan Mohan Reddy for levelling false, vague and political allegations. So Jagan Mohan Reddy, YS Jagan Mohan Reddy, the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, has gone ahead with levelling false, vague and political allegation against the Supreme Court Judge N.V. Ramana and other High Court judges. So as there was a false, vague and political allegations against N.V. Ramana and High Court judges, the case has been taken up so that there would be a contempt of court action initiated against YS Jagan Mohan Reddy. But the court, the Supreme Court, the bench led by Justice UU Lalit has recused. The key word here is recused. That means going ahead with giving an excuse that the person does not want to go ahead with here the case. That is what the recused is. And the judge here has withdrawn from hearing the case. That is, Justice UU Lalit has been withdrawn, or he has withdrawn from hearing the case, that is in regards to which is seeking an action, that is contempt of court action against Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister YS Jagan Mohan Reddy and also the Chief Secretary also. And he has said that as a lawyer he has represented some parties involved in the case, so thereby he has recused, or he has excused not to go ahead with taking up the case against Jagannath Reddy in regards to the contempt of the case. And this, if you look at Justice U. Lalit, is the one who has been directly elevated or promoted as a Supreme Court judge in the history of the court. So definitely is one of the few senior most advocates where he has been elevated as a Supreme Court judge in the history of the court itself, and thereby he has said, and we will listen to or we will quote what he has said. I have difficulty in hearing this. So he has said that I have difficulty in hearing this. I cannot take up this matter. I have a lawyer representative some of these parties. So he has a difficulty in hearing this case against a case or action initiating against Jagannath Reddy in regards to the contempt of court, and he said I cannot take up this matter because he was as a lawyer representative in some part of the party's representatives. So thereby he has recused. And the bench, when the Justice U. Lalit has recused, then the bench has recorded a short order to the Chief Justice of India, that is S.A. Bobde, to list the case before an appropriate or any other bench, because Justice U. Lalit has recused from hearing the case. And we have also seen that recently the Attorney General, that is K.K. Venugopal, has also reframed. He has not really agreed to give an accent or given consent to the plea, that is contempt of court action against Jagannath Reddy, that is AP Chief Minister, and the Principal Advisor Ajay Khallam. So definitely now the KK Venugopal and Justice U. Lalit has gone ahead with recusing or refraining in regards to giving permission for taking an action or to initiate an action, that is contempt of court, against Jagannath Reddy, the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, and the Principal Advisor Ajay Khallam. So this is in regards to the keyword. What you need to focus is recused, as he has been representing some of these parties. That is why Justice U. Lalit has recused, and Venugopal has refrained from giving a statutory consent, because he said as the letter has been directed to the Chief Justice of India, that is S.A. Bobde, so definitely now the entire ambit of the case is under the Chief Justice of India, and I did not give any kind of consent to initiate the contempt of court action against Jagannath Reddy. So here refrained is another keyword and recused is a keyword, what is very important from polity point of view. And there is another news which talks about Moderna says vaccine is 94.5% effective. So the drug maker Moderna has gone ahead with a coronavirus vaccine, and they have come up with the phase 3 trials, and they say that now the vaccine is 94.5%, almost 95% effective. And they said even though if it is effective, it will take few months so that the vaccine would be widely available to the entire people or the entire globe. And Moderna is the second company which has come up with a successful vaccine. That is, the first one is the Pfizer, and the second one which has been successfully said that it has effectively been successful is the Moderna second one. The first one is Pfizer, but Pfizer has said that effectiveness of its vaccine was 90%, but Moderna has said that its effectiveness of the vaccine is 94.5%. And Moderna is based in Cambridge, that is Massachusetts, which is in collaboration. The vaccine is developed in collaboration with researchers from Vaccine Research Center, and this Vaccine Research Center is part of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease of US. So definitely the Moderna, which is a drug maker, it is in collaboration with Vaccine Research Center. It is in collaboration with Vaccine Research Center, and it is part of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease. So this is the preliminary information for the UPSC prelims perspective about Moderna and then Pfizer, which is based in Cambridge and in collaboration with Vaccine Research Center, and it is part of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. And definitely if you look at now the Moderna, I said that the vaccine which it has come up with, it has a longer shelf life. That means it can be stored for a longer period of time. So it can be stored under refrigeration and also at the room temperature, and thereby the vaccine could be made easier to store and to use for the COVID-19 pandemic situation or SARS-CoV-2. Definitely now these results of Moderna, that is in regards to the 94.5% of effectiveness of a vaccine, was analyzed by an independent data safety monitoring board which has been appointed by the National Institute of Health. So definitely the effectiveness of the virus of the vaccine which is for the SARS-CoV-2 virus is analyzed by the Data Safety Monitoring Board, which is appointed by the National Institute of Health. And if you look at the kind of version which has been used by both the Pfizer and Moderna, that is drug makers, is they have used the synthetic version of the coronavirus genetic material, and that synthetic version is called as mRNA or messenger RNA. And these types of RNA I have discussed last week in regards to the mRNA, rRNA and then tRNA. So these are the three messengers or three RNAs which are being used or which can be used as a synthetic version in regards to the creating of or coming up with the vaccine in regards to the coronavirus genetic material. Is mRNA, you have rRNA and then you have tRNA, which I have discussed in the last class. So definitely the point which you need to focus is the types of RNAs also, and the one which has been used, the synthetic version in both the Pfizer and Moderna, is mRNA. This is a crucial information here. And there is another news which talks about the gas pipeline which has been completed from Kochi to Mangalore. So the GAIL company has completed, which company? It is a GAIL company which has completed the gas pipeline from Kochi to Mangalore. So we will definitely look at how it is important and from which areas and which districts it is being covered through Kerala. And definitely the project is now called as the Kochi-Mangalore Natural Gas Pipeline Project. And this project is almost ready and it is commissioned as GAIL India, for commissioning as GAIL India, and it has almost gone ahead with a completion of a precarious stretch which was in the Chandragiri river in the northern Kerala, which was 540 meters, and it has completed that 540 meters along or across the Chandragiri river. So here Chandragiri river is a keyword for the geography map based, even though it is for the gas or it is for the energy boosting in India or especially in regards to the Kerala and then Karnataka, but still this can be used. I mean, we can focus it from geography map based because Chandragiri river, and we can also, I mean, what is very important for you all as a civil servant aspirant is whether there is any river that is tributary which is of Chandragiri. And not only in regards to the geography map based, again we need to focus the Chandragiri, that is you have the Chandragiri fort also, and that Chandragiri fort again how it is important from history perspective, that is we need to again focus from Mauryas. So which king was, I mean there, that is Chandragupta Maurya, and then how the name of Chandragiri has come up from the, it is believed that it has been Chandragupta Maurya during his last period of his life has been stayed in the area that is Chandragiri, and that is why the name Chandragiri river has come up on the name of Chandragupta Maurya. So from history perspective, geography perspective, and also from energy boosting or energy perspective, you need to focus this GAIL completing Kochi-Mangalore pipeline. So do focus this from various perspective, that is from history perspective and also geography and also in regards to the energy. So these are the areas that you need to focus as a civil servant aspirant, this news and the tributary of Chandragiri also, and this entire natural gas pipeline, that is Kochi-Mangalore, is of 444 kilometers long, and it has been launched in the year 2009 with an estimated cost of 2,915 crore. But because of various hurdles, especially in regards to the land price, the project has been doubled to 5,750 crores. Initially it has started from 2,915 crores, but it has increased double to 5,750 crores of rupees, and it has been launched in the year 2009 and commissioned in the year 2014. So all these are very, very crucial for the preliminary UPSC perspective. And definitely the most difficult stretch of the entire 444 kilometer Kochi-Mangalore natural gas pipeline project was the 540 meter tracarious stretch across the Chandragiri river, and it is in Kasaragod district. So again, this is very important for prelims perspective. The Chandragiri river, its tributary, and in which district it is, and it is the longest river. Chandragiri river is the longest river in the Kasaragod district of Kerala. And now this pipeline has been charged up to, it is up to Kannur. So definitely it is up to Kannur, and then up to, it is, it is charged, but it is live up to Kotanad, that is in Palakkad. Kotanad in Palakkad districts, that is from north of Kochi. From Kochi, if you look at 90 kilometers north of Kochi, you have the total pipeline up to Kotanad in Palakkad. We will also look at that. Here it is Palakkad, and you have Kochi here, and then you have the 90 kilometer stretch from Kannur. So you have Kotanad here. From Kochi you have Kotanad, and then from here you have the, which is just away 90 kilometers from Palakkad district. So Kotanad, now this is again very important from geography map base, because as per the Kochi-Mangalore natural gas pipeline project, Kotanad is the main junction of the project of the Kochi to Mangalore. Kochi to Mangalore, this is the junction. Kotanad is the junction because it bifurcates the Mangalore and the Bangalore or Bengaluru. So definitely it is the junction between the Kochi and Mangalore, and it bifurcates to Mangaluru and Bengaluru. So this is again very crucial information from prelims geography map based. And this first phase was commissioned in the year 2013, and it was commissioned to only Kochi metropolitan area, with only later on the industrial supplies and domestic supplies was provided in the year 2016 by Adani Groups. And this pipeline would supply gas to the 7 districts of Kerala, that is Ernakulam, Thrissur, Palakkad, Malappuram, Kozhikode, Kannur, and then Kasaragod. Along with that, you have the Wayanad district, which is of hilly area. So definitely this again is very important from geography map base. So there could be a possibility in regards to the question being framed, that is energy boosting in India, which the GAIL has completed the 444 kilometer stretch of Kochi-Mangalore natural gas pipeline project. But there could be a question based on the geography map based on the number of districts in Kerala, and which are the districts wherein the gas pipeline would supply to the districts of Kerala. So it would benefit 8 districts, totally 8 districts. So 7 plus the Illi Wayanad district, so 7 plus 1, it is 8 districts it will be benefited. So it is of 444 kilometer pipeline with 5750, that is 5750 crores of rupees. And the main junction of the Kochi-Mangalore gas pipeline is Kotanad, because it bifurcates the pipeline to Mangalore and Bengaluru. And if you look at this, we have given here Chandragiri. So this is the Chandragiri river. So you have the pipeline which has crossed over the 544 meter tracarious stretch on the Chandragiri river, and it is in Kasargod. And then the tributary of Chandragiri is Pyaswani. This is the tributary. So all this I am taking up for your benefit, that is from current affairs, energy, and then geography map based, and history also. Again Chandragupta Maurya. So it is believed that Chandragupta has spent his last time of his life near the place that is Chandragiri. That is why the name of the river is been named after him, called as Chandragiri. And if you look at the Kasargod, Kannur, and then Kozhikode, Malappuram, Palakkad, Thrissur, Ernakulam. So these are the 7 from here to here, that are the 7, and along with this is the 1, that is 7 plus 1, Wayanad plus the 7. The gas pipeline provides, or it supplies gas to all the 8 districts. So definitely you need to understand the districts of also. So you have 8 and then 9, Kottayam 11, Alappuzha 12, 13, 14, and then you have Thiruvananthapuram. So definitely the districts also you please try to look at from the Kerala, entire how many districts, and then which are coastal to Arabian Sea, that is Kasargod, Kannur, Kozhikode, Malappuram, Thrissur, Ernakulam, and then Kottayam, Alappuzha, and then Kollam, and then Thiruvananthapuram. You do not have the Pantani Mihta and the Idukki, Palakkad, Wayanad are not coastal, but they are part of the Kerala. So this is how you need to focus from geography, history, and then from also in regards to the how it is helpful for energy boost. So you might look at it as just an information, but there is lot for you all as a civil servant aspirants. You need to pick up from various perspective, and that is what I have done, to brought in all these maps to make you understand how you can link one news to various others, and then make sure that it can be asked in the prelims, and then having a better understanding, conceptual understanding for prelims as well as mains perspective. So we will look at the another news which talks about the FDI ceiling. So definitely this also we have looked at in the last week, that is the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has brought in the OTT over the top and the video streaming platforms, that is for example Netflix or Amazon, under the jurisdiction of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. We have looked at, and now the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, why it is in news is because it has issued a detailed notification on November 16. That is, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has issued a detailed notification asking the digital news portals. So asking all the digital news portals. So the keyword here is the digital news portals to comply with 26% cap. So what is the information what you need to focus here is the Ministry of Information is asking the digital news portals to cap the FDIs to 26% only. That is in regards to the uploading and streaming of news, current affairs through the digital media. So the keyword is digital news and the digital media, which can be a prospective question being asked in the mains 2020 as per information and technology. In regards to the information and technology, there could be a question asked part of the digital news portals and the digital media, and the cap of 26% on FDIs. And now there is two different scenarios here, that is below 26% cap, which even the one companies which are having below 26% of FDI should also intimate the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting about the names and address of the directors and shareholders. and they should submit it within a month to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. So the two scenarios is below the 26% cap of the FDIs, which has been brought up by a detailed notification by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, and the another scenario is if at all there is the companies wherein their investment is more than 26% of FDI, those companies are instructed by the ministry to bring down the figure to 26% or below 26% before October 15, 2021. So this is the deadline by a detailed notification which has been come up by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in regards to the current affairs through or news and uploading or streaming of news current affairs through digital media. So the news here is digital news portals. The keyword here is digital news portals and then digital media and then 26% cap. So these are the various keywords which you need to focus for prelims perspective. And now we will focus at the conflict between Ethiopian government and Tigray rebels. So this is in news for almost couple of days, and now I will focus this in regards to analyzing. We will analyze the issue which is going on in the Horn of Africa, that is within the Ethiopian, that is between the Ethiopian government and Tigray rebels. So definitely Ethiopian government and Tigray rebels, we will look at the entire conflict. I will give the entire concept analyzing, and then we will also focus whether how best it can be useful for the mains perspective. So we will look at this. So please do concentrate on this so that you will have a better understanding about. I will take up the entire basic understanding right from 1974 or 75 onwards till recently now why the conflict has actually started. We will look into the different scenarios, the background, and then what is now going on, and then how the challenges would be to the Ethiopian government or the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. We will look at, and what is Tigray rebels, where is Tigray, and what is TPLF, that is Tigray People's Liberation Front. All that we will discuss in toto, and it is a kind of detailed analysis. This topic what I am taking up is a detailed analysis of the conflict between Ethiopian government and Tigray rebels. And the Prime Minister of Ethiopia is Abiy Ahmed, who has got the Nobel, or who has been awarded Nobel Prize winning in the year 2019. And the Prime Minister of Ethiopia has started a military operation against the rebellions, that is the Tigray, and he has started a military operation against the Tigray rebels, focusing the Tigray region. So from the first week of November, the issue or the military operation between Ethiopian government and the Tigray rebels is continuing, and why it is continuing we will focus definitely. And what Mr. Abiy Ahmed, that is the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, has said it is that the military operation is just a limited campaign which is focusing on the TPLF, that is Tigray People's Liberation Front. So Prime Minister has made it very clear the military operation is not on to the Tigray region itself, but only to the TPLF, that is Tigray People's Liberation Front, and that is the militia cum political party which is now having a parallel government in the northern region of Ethiopia, that is in Tigray region. So you have a region in the Ethiopia that is called as Tigray, and that is being now under the control of militia cum political party, that is Tigray People's Liberation Front. And that is why the Ethiopian Prime Minister says it is a very limited campaign, that is military operation not against the people of Tigray region, but it is against the military or militia cum political party, that is TPLF. TPLF. So please do understand here what is that is Ethiopian government and TPLF, because we will look at what is TPLF, why TPLF has started, when it has started, we will focus at that. And definitely this conflict which is happening since last 2 weeks. So Ethiopia, there is a risk that Ethiopia would fall into another ethnic civil war with regional implication, because there is, you have Eritrea and then Ethiopia which had a war between both the countries, and because of that itself trying to have some kind of solution between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has been awarded as the Nobel Peace Prize in the year 2019, but because of the military operation by the Ethiopian government, there is a chance that it would now again be another ethnic civil war, and which would have a regional implications. Please do understand, I am saying regional implications. So when we are talking about regional implication, we will also focus at the neighboring countries of Ethiopia, Eritrea, or the neighboring country of the Tigray region, how there would be a regional implication that Ethiopia might again risk into falling and getting into the mode of another ethnic civil war. Now we will focus or we will look at what is TPLF, so that you will understand better only when you know what is TPLF, when it has initiated or founded, so that we will know the main concept of government, Ethiopian government going ahead with military operations against the TPLF, So TPLF, that is Tigray People's Liberation Front. So this is the area which borders with Eritrea, which borders with Sudan. Fine. So this is now, that is why there would be a regional implication. And TPLF was founded in the year 1975 because it has started as an resistance army of the Tigrayan people against the military dictatorship. That military dictatorship, in the year 1975, it was called, or it was named as Derg. So TPLF has been founded to revolt or to resist against the military dictatorship of Derg, that is leftist Derg, and this was established in the year 1974. The Derg was established in the year 1974, but the TPLF was founded in the year 1975. That is 1 year later on the establishment of Derg, that is military dictatorship, and later on they have changed the title in the year 1987, but it has remained powerful and it has ousted the armed rebels in the 1991. So definitely they were in power till 1987 and they had the same title, and they have ousted the armed rebels, that is the TPLF, in 1991. And TPLF has played a crucial role. Definitely again the armed rebels were successful in ousting the junta, that is military dictatorship, and once they have ousted the military dictatorship, that is junta, then TPLF was welcomed as the national heroes in the 1991. So what is that we need to focus here is that Derg, which was a military dictatorship which was established in 1974, was ousted by the armed rebels 1991, that is by TPLF, which was founded in 1975, and it was welcomed, TPLF was welcomed as the heroes in the year 1991, and the leader of the TPLF is Meles Zenawi. And later on when he has, or when they have ousted the junta and they have been welcomed as the national heroes, he has took over as an interim president in the year 1991, that is the leader of the TPLF of the Tigrayan or Tigray region, and he has become the first elected prime minister in 1995. And he is also, that is Meles Zenawi, has also been seen as an architect of countries ethno-federal system. This is the keyword for the mains examination. So that is TPLF leader Meles Zenawi has been as an architect of Ethiopian ethno-federal system, and he has remained in power till 2012. Look at it, from a resistance army or as an armed rebel, was the interim president and also the first elected prime minister, and he was in power till 2012. So you have Ethiopia here, Eritrea, borders, Sudan, and then you have the Red Sea, Gulf of Aden, Persian Gulf, you have Strait of Hormuz, Yemen here, and then Somalia, Djibouti you have, and this is called as Horn of Africa. These all countries are called as Horn of Africa. And this again you can focus from geography map based question. He can ask you which among the following countries are not the bordering countries of Ethiopia or Djibouti. He can ask from Djibouti, taking the central focus of Djibouti, and then which among the following are not the neighboring countries of Djibouti. And definitely what has happened is, after a few years, there was a government led by the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, a coalition which has been come up with the TPLF, that is Zenawi, who was in power till 2012. And Zenawi was accused of a kind of authoritarian, and there was mass protest against Zenawi since 2012. So definitely there was an alternative front which has been popped up to TPLF, that is called as EPRDF, that is Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, which has come as an alternative to TPLF because Zenawi was accused of being more authoritarian and there was mass protest, and definitely the EPRDF has come up as a very dominant, and they have formed the government, and it was led by the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front. And EPRDF had various regional political parties such as Amhara Democratic Party or Oromo Democratic Party and Southern Ethiopian People's Democratic Party, and the TPLF remained the dominant political force. So definitely it is a kind of EPRDF versus TPLF right from 2012 onwards, as Mr. Zenawi was accused of authoritarianism and there was mass protest against him. The government was formed under, or which was led by EPRDF along with few regional parties, that is Amhara and Oromo. Why we have to focus at this Amhara Democratic Party and Oromo Democratic Party is because they are the population, they are part of the population in Ethiopia. We will also look at it. This is, you have the Amhara population, you have Oromo population, and then Tigray also. So these are the one. We have the population which are in Ethiopia, but you have percentage differs there. We will focus at the different percentage of the population. And in 2018 what has happened is EPRDF has chosen Mr. Abiy Ahmed, who is a former military intelligence officer, to lead the government, that is of Ethiopian government, even though there were protest and political deadlock in 2018, but the Mr. Abiy Ahmed, now the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, was chosen as the head of EPRDF, who is the former intelligence officer. And now we will look at now the rise of Abiy, that is Abiy Ahmed, who has been chosen by the EPRDF, and EPRDF has definitely provided a stable rule under the Abiy Ahmed as a Prime Minister of Ethiopia with high economic growth for 17 years, and there was mounting criticism against the country's ethno-federal arrangement. So definitely there was people were against the ethno-federal arrangement which was brought in by Zenawi. that is the leader of TPLF. The leader of TPLF who has come up with the ethno-federal arrangements we have come up, but there was mounting criticism against the arrangement which has come up by the, or which was taken up by the TPLF leader Mr. Zenawi. So definitely now when we look at, there were various steps taken by the Prime Minister of Ethiopia Mr. Abiy Ahmed, and he has outsized, that means he could definitely prevail over the influence of TPLF in the government. So definitely slowly or gradually EPRDF has taken over the government, and yet it has outsized the influence of TPLF. Please do understand. And now we will look at the population of Tigray people is 6%. The population of Oromos is 34%, and Hamaras is 27%. That is why I am talking about that. Even though Oromos are of 34% of population in Ethiopia, they felt they are being marginalized, and that is why there was a mass protest or criticism against the ethno-federal arrangement which has been initiated by Zenawi, the leader of TPLF. But Tigray population is just 6%. Please do understand the population equation of the people, percentage of the people in Ethiopia, that is Tigray, Oromos and Hamaras. The maximum share is of the Oromos, and then the Abiy Ahmed is of the Oromos. He consists, or he is from Oromos, and that is why Oromos has got the total control, that is EPRDF has got the total control in the government, outsizing the influence of TPLF. And slowly Mr. Abiy Ahmed has purged, as he has deleted the TPLF functionaries from the key government post. And then Abiy Ahmed has also released various political prisoners who were jailed by the TPLF led government earlier, prior to 2012. They were freed. They were released, and there was a freer media also. So TPLF functionaries were purged, or they were taken away. Political prisoners were released who were jailed by the TPLF led government earlier, prior to 2012, and he has also promised a freer media. And these entire scenarios what were being taken up by the Abiy, or the reforms taken up by Abiy Ahmed, that is the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, was not liked by the TPLF, and not only that, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has reached out to Eritrea, the neighboring country of Ethiopia, and then this is TPLF. Definitely the Eritrea is the enemy of TPLF, because TPLF shares long border with the Eritrea, and definitely there was a war between Eritrea and Ethiopia also. There was a long war between Eritrea and Ethiopia, but in spite of that, Abiy Ahmed, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, has reached out to Eritrea, and he has made very clear that the relations were cordial and then comfortable, even though it was a long war between Eritrea and Ethiopia. But the TPLF did not like the way the Abiy Ahmed was reaching out to Eritrea, because there was a war between the Eritrea and Ethiopia, but the region which was badly hit was Tigray, and they did not like it. And now we will focus at why the November 1st week onwards there is a military operation which has been taken up by the Ethiopian government against the TPLF, and because of the Abiy, which he has come up with a new party, he has floated a new party, or he has formed a new party called as New Political Coalition, and that is called as Prosperity Party. Please do understand, TPLF, EPRDF, and then you have the Prosperity Party. So these are the various gradual sequence of formation of fronts and parties. Now after EPRDF, there is a new party which has been formed by Abe, that is Prosperity Party, and they are all which are part of EPRDF but except TPLF. This is the main concern now. Now Prosperity Party is plus EPRDF minus TPLF. So that is why the TPLF felt that this is a strategic move by the Abiy Ahmed, that is the Ethiopian Prime Minister, so that he has come up with a new political party, that is Prosperity Party, and attempt to consolidate more power in Ethiopia, and then moving out or making sure that TPLF is not part of it, and then definitely TPLF has shifted its place from Addis Ababa to Mekelle, to, that is from Ethiopian region. They have shifted their leadership to Tigray region once the Prosperity Party was formed by Mr. Abe. And then in August 2020, actually there was, Abe government has decided to go ahead with, they was supposed to go ahead with the parliamentary elections, but because of the COVID-19, the Abe government has postponed the elections. But TPLF has openly challenged the decision of postponing of the parliamentary elections, and they have conducted or holded the elections in the region, that is in the Tigray regions, in defense of the, against the federal government. And then on November 3rd, that means because of the Prosperity Party, the action, that is retaliation by the TPLF, is they went ahead with going ahead or conducting the elections in the region, that is Tigray region, against the defiance of the, or against the federal government structure. And on November 3rd, TPLF militants have attacked the federal military command in the Tigray region, and they have captured military hardware and equipment in the Tigray region. And thereby, after this incident, that is TPLF militants attacking the federal military command in the Tigray region, not only attacking, they have also captured the military hardware and equipment, and this has prompted the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, that is Mr. Abiy Ahmed, to declare a military operation against the TPLF, militia cum parallel government, which it is running in the Tigray region. And now we will look at the geopolitical angle in regards to the military operation by the Ethiopian government, that is Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. So Abiy had outreached to Eritrea to outrage the TPLF. Definitely now Ethiopia and Eritrea have come together, because look at it, this is the Tigray region, and this is now sandwiched between the Ethiopia and Eritrea. So definitely as outreach to Eritrea, which it has earlier had a prolonged war with Eritrean government, but definitely now TPLF, once Ethiopia is having or getting close to Eritrea, TPLF is accusing Eritrea for backing Mr. Abiy's offensive action, that is military action against the Tigray, that is TPLF. And then in turn the TPLF rebels have fired rockets into Eritrea. Please do understand, they haven't fired rockets into Ethiopia, they have fired rockets into Eritrea, because TPLF now feels that Eritrea is backing the Ethiopian government, which had earlier a prolonged war between Eritrea and Ethiopia, but now the Ethiopia has reached to Eritrea, and then Eritrea is not supporting Ethiopia to wage or to have a coordinated effort fight against TPLF, and this is threatening a wider regional war in the Horn of Africa. So definitely this is the Horn of Africa. So there is a wider regional war which could now again come up, because two different countries which were fought or which were held in a prolonged war, that is Eritrea and Ethiopia, are now together, and then they would go against outraging TPLF in the Tigray region, which now the Tigray region shares border with Sudan. This is why regional war. So Sudan, you have here, this is the place wherein it is bordering with Sudan, and Sudan definitely has very good relations with TPLF because the dictator ousted, I mean the one who has earlier, the dictator Omar Bashir has very good relations with TPLF. So there would be a, now as Eritrea is having support, or Ethiopia having support from Eritrea, probably now TPLF might get the support from Sudan towards TPLF to fight against Ethiopia or Eritrea. And in this entire scenario, if Sudan has a border dispute, now Sudan, it borders even Ethiopia. So if there are any border issues with Ethiopia, so definitely the new rulers will keep the holdings, that is TPLF, active, and they will go ahead with the conflict will now again erupt between not only Sudan and Eritrea but again Sudan and Ethiopia. And then Tigray might take a good relationship advantage with Sudan, that is the ousted dictator Omar Bashir, to fight against the Ethiopian military or Ethiopian government. And if this continues, that is if the Sudan would have good relations or it would support TPLF and have the border issues with Eritrea or Ethiopia, then Abey's reform agenda at home and his diplomatic agenda at abroad would be at, what do you say, challenging. It would be challenged. So this is the main point, that now the Sudan is the main key role. If Sudan supports TPLF and it again reinitiates the border dispute with Ethiopia and Eritrea also, so then the reform agenda of Abiy at home and the diplomatic agenda of Abiy at abroad would be challenged. So this is the conclusion. This is a conclusion. David Kumar and Pantangi, very good morning to you all. So I have focused a detailed analysis in regards to the conflict between the Ethiopian government and the TPLF. So we have looked at why it has started, ethnic warfare, civil war, and then we have looked at about TPLF, entire, I have given the entire information about TPLF, and then how EPRDF has come up with a new front has come up, which has been brought in, and then I have also spoken about the population of Oromo and then Amhara and then Tigray. So Addis Ababa, which is here in the heart of Ethiopia, and wherein the leadership of Tigray has been shifted to Tigray region itself. And definitely now the another keyword is ethno-federal arrangements. New one keyword is prosperity party. So all these are very, very important so that now the Sudan, which is having the border with Tigray, TPLF, would now have a kind of good relations and then support TPLF in the entire conflict. And now it is a challenge to the Nobel Peace Prize winner of 2019, how he would cope up with the reform agenda at home, that is within Ethiopia, and the diplomatic agenda abroad. So this is the crucial in-depth analysis of the Ethiopian government or the conflict between the Ethiopian government and the Tigray. So now we will recapitulate. This is in regards to the recusers. The keyword is recusers. The judge, Justice U.E. Lalit. This is in regards to the polity perspective, which you need to focus. And this is in regards to the health. We have looked at the vaccine. And this is in regards to the energy sector. we are focused in regards to energy sector, geography map based, and also history point of view. That is Chandragupta Maurya or Mauryan Kingdom, Mauryan Empire. You need to focus in regards to the extremely sorry, not this. Yeah, this one itself. Chandragiri River. We have also focused at Chandragiri River and its tributaries. And which district? Kasargod district of Kerala. And then total 7 plus 1, that is 8 districts will be now provided the gas pipeline. And this is the Information and Broadcasting Ministry has come up with the 26% cap on the FDI in regards to the digital news, and this is in regards to the conflict between the Ethiopian government and Tigray, which is of the international relations, especially focusing on the Horn of Africa. So definitely I hope this session was very informative, knowledgeable one, and definitely the in-depth analysis would also be useful for you in regards to the mains 2020 examination, and you will certainly have an edge over others. And I would say a very big thank you and a good luck to you all, and then do maintain the consistency, stick to your schedule, and then take care of your physical health and mental health. And then do like the video, share the video, and subscribe the video, especially the English medium AKS IAS Academy YouTube channel, because now the entire AKS IAS Academy daily news analysis by me, that is Sandeep Bhushan Tumala, is on the AKS IAS English medium YouTube channel. So do visit AKS IAS Academy website and also subscribe the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy, that is Advanced Knowledge Systems. And then see you again tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. in regards to the daily news analysis. So I hope this was a very informative, knowledgeable session, and see you tomorrow.